Peace and blessings, y'all. In this corner boxing 24. Good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty good on this side as always. God is great, God is good, and I won't complain. So, let's get right into it. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. For Undisputed, we got reports this week from different entities, different channels, saying that the fight was on for June 17th. Finally, the fight is here. And I've been saying that unless I really hear them announce it, those two announce it, that I really don't want to hear it. And sure enough, that's what it seems to be. So all of you channels that announced it and act like it was legit, now you got to go back on your words. You won't see on my channel where I announced it. I did mention it, that the fight could happen on Facebook in a post, but I didn't announce it that the fight would happen like everybody else is doing. I just put a post up saying that the fight could happen. The fight may happen June 17th, but I ain't announcing it because I really wasn't sure. Okay? So it was just wishful thinking of me. But after listening to Stephen Espinoza, now there was reports coming from Michael Benson, ESPN, saying that they were in talks. The fight was going to happen June 17th, and that they were going to announce it April 22nd at the Tank and Ryan Garcia fight. Right? Okay. But now after listening to Stephen Espinoza being interviewed, he said that they're still in talks and they're still in negotiation. They don't have a solid date yet. So there is no June 17th. Okay, and he also said that Keith Thurman, he mentioned Keith Thurman, that if Errol Spence couldn't get the fight with Crawford, that Thurman was there. So according to him, the way he sees it is that the fans would get a fight with either Spence and Crawford or Spence and Thurman, so the fans would win. That's what he said. Now, for the die-hard fans, we don't call Errol Spence and Thurman a win. That's not a win. That's a fight, but that's not a win. The win is Crawford and Spence. That's the win for Undisputed. Because Thurman don't have anything to offer Spence. He don't have a belt. He doesn't have a belt. So how's that a win? Plus, Crawford is undefeated. And Spence is undefeated. Thurman is not undefeated anymore. So that's not a win. All right, so we want to see Errol Spence and Crawford. And again, when I see it announced, that's when I really believe it. As far as who's going to win, I got Crawford in that fight. Some people like Spence. But as I told my man earlier, this is the way I break it down. People could say a lot of different things, a lot of different scenarios. Crawford got to start faster. He starts too slow. If he don't, Spence will overwhelm him. I really don't see it like that. I think Crawford will start fast and fast enough. I think Errol Spence, from what I've seen, can't fight going backwards. He's very uncomfortable going backwards. He doesn't even throw punches when he goes backwards. And if you don't believe me, just look at Sean Porter, look at Kell Brook, the fighters that pushed him a little bit to go backwards. He didn't fight good. He doesn't throw punches. Don't give me this fight with Ugas who stood right in front of him and didn't know how to block a punch, didn't know how to duck, bob, weave from a punch. Like, don't give me that fight to say that he damaged Ugas. And please don't give me Kell Brook, who was in a fight just prior to his fight with Spence. He got damaged by Triple G. So he fought Errol Spence in a year, less than a year after he fought Triple G. So please don't give me that, all right? But when you see Sean Porter, where he was pushing Spence, he made him very uncomfortable. He doesn't fight going backwards. Okay, Crawford is going to make you go backwards. He's going to come forward. So when you got two fighters like that coming forward and one can push the other one back, that one's going to be able to dictate the fight. Now, Crawford is a counter puncher. And in that fight, I feel like he's more the puncher and Spence is the boxer. The reason I say that is because Crawford got more one-punch power than Errol Spence does. He doesn't knock anybody out with one shot. He breaks you down. Whereas Crawford could hit you with one shot, maybe two, and he could stop you. He could hurt you. Big difference. I think Crawford got good reach. Spence might be a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, but it doesn't matter. I think Crawford has the speed, and I think he has the power to keep Spence at bay. Spence ain't just going to walk in there. Even if he couldn't stop Spence, just the fact that he got enough power, he'll keep him at a distance. Just like Shakur Stevenson said at the press conference last night yesterday with Yoshino. If he think I ain't got no power, let him just try to come in and see. You see? All you got to do is have power. Is not just knocking everybody out. Power is just keeping somebody at bay, keeping them honest enough where they ain't just going to come in and try to overwhelm you and do what they want to do. That's power, right? And you will respect the power of a fighter that has that. Floyd Mayweather had that. He wasn't no knockout dude, but he had enough that you wasn't going to come in and just do what you wanted to do. So Crawford has that and more. All right, so we're going to see what happens. But I just got to say that June 17th, we don't know if that's going to be the date. We got to see. This is April 7th, so we still got some time. And if that fight is going to happen, it definitely needs to be announced. If it's going to happen in June, then it needs to be announced this month, because then they have to have press conferences, they have to do tours. That's the biggest fight that could ever be made. So way bigger than any fight right now that could be made. So for that fight to happen, it has to have some time to marinate and some time for them to set up the undercard, the venue, and the press tour, the conferences, the press conferences, all right? So that's what a fight like that, of that magnitude, will take. So hopefully it will happen. I hope it does happen in June. I hope it does happen in July. I hope it happens soon, okay? But as soon as I would say, being that this is April, would be June that it would happen. It could happen June 24th, the week after the 17th. You could, so let's see what happens, all right? Peace and blessings, y'all. In this Corner Boxing 24, please subscribe to the page. Please leave your comments. Let me know how you feel. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace.